Mi gente, Monday Night Raw clocked in this week at 2 hours and 25 minutes, and wow, did it flow seamlessly. Monday Night Mommy was in full effect, and it started right away with the CM Punk promo because once he got interrupted, what's the first thing he said when he dropped to his knees? Why can't I ever be interrupted by Rhea Ripley? Mira papi, we all feel the same way. I love the progression of the Sami Zayn isn't ever going to win the World Heavyweight Championship. That to me is an underrated storyline that literally nobody's talking about. Because when he inevitably wins that World Heavyweight Championship, we are going to celebrate like we did for Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. We got to talk about that Penta debut. Penta and Chad Gable was a perfect match. Not a single hiccup during that entire match, and kudos to Chad Gable for him to work someone for the very first time and for him to give you that professional wrestling match, top tier style. Just a phenomenal showing from both men. We need to talk about the emotions in the front row, the emotions that Latinos all over the world had when we saw this dude in the ring. WWE has been craving for a Latin star. They have been craving for a Hispanic to take over professional wrestling, and they finally have it. And I'm going to say something a little controversial here, so please bear with me. Rey Fénix being held hostage in AEW is the best thing that could happen to Penta because now he can just go out there and be a single star that we all know he is. Once again, Sheamus just shows that that man can literally do nothing wrong. I don't remember the last time Sheamus had a bad match. And I can tell you, as someone who fell in love with this guy with his feuds for the United States Championship with Daniel Bryan, I can tell you that I will never stop being a fan of this man. And I am just so glad that no matter what he does, what we do know that is absolutely certain is that it will be banger after banger after banger. And Ludwig Kaiser, I can absolutely see why The Undertaker loves this man so much because he is just a phenomenal in-ring performer. Now, I know there's a lot of feelings hurt out there because a lot of people wanted Dakota Kai to be the first Intercontinental Champion, but I gotta tell you, I'm very happy that it was Lyra Valkyria because it makes everything that Becky Lynch did in NXT just look so much better. Don't get me wrong, I feel like Dakota Kai deserved it, and if she would have won tonight, I would be just as happy. But to watch the work that Becky Lynch did in NXT just come to fruition with Tiffany Stratton being the SmackDown Women's Champion, and then to watch Lyra Valkyria, someone that she put over clean for the NXT Championship, go out there and win the inaugural Intercontinental Championship, it just makes everything she did and the effort that she put forth for the women of professional wrestling so much more impactful. And I've said this before on here, and I don't know if people have paid attention to it, but Lyra is one of those people that can come out in her entrance, people could be quiet, but by the end of the match, the whole audience is chanting, "This is awesome." She is that good. Now, I'm sure this was planned weeks ago, but the impromptu match between Sami Zayn and The Miz was awesome. I gotta be honest with you, man. Sami Zayn is just such a good in-ring performer. Going all the way back to Ring of Honor, this dude can do no wrong. And The Miz, he's just gotten better over time. He is seriously like the fine wine of professional wrestling. And what a change up. The Helluva Kick into the Blue Thunder Bomb. I like that combination better than the other way around. I've always liked the Helluva Kick because it's really dope, and I was a big fan of Test growing up. So I feel like the running big boot was awesome, and nobody did it better than Test, except for Sami Zayn, who does it just as good. So watching it in the other order and now seeing the Blue Thunder Bomb being the actual finish, it just makes it so much sweeter. From there, we move on to the moment of the night. We have Rhea Ripley coming out with that entrance we all were craving, waiting for the entrance. We wanted her to do that stomp and then to just slowly look up with the Women's World Championship, and it gave us everything we wanted. We got the introduction of her possibly feuding with Nia Jax, and then Bayley's involvement into it. We had some physicality between the three, but it wasn't overwhelming, and they left Liv Morgan in the back. So now we can officially move on to a new feud for Rhea Ripley. Speaking of Liv Morgan and the Judgment Day, they're in the back and they're screwing around with each other, and you can tell Liv Morgan, very passive-aggressively, making Dominic Mysterio do a lot of her dirty work. Go pick up my bags. Go pick up Raquel's bags. Hey, Carlito, put these flowers away. You could tell she's angry, and she's not angry she lost the championship. She's angry that Dominic Mysterio tried to go back to Rhea Ripley. I am very excited to see where this story goes. And then the main event of the evening, Damian Priest versus Finn Balor in a street fight. Man, Monday Night Raw can do no wrong with street fights. I love the idea of Damian Priest injuring him with a Falcon's arrow off the balcony, only to have Finn Balor be stretchered out and Damian Priest to decide, no, we're ending this tonight. You see the Judgment Day's involvement, the War Raiders' involvement, but ultimately it was one-on-one in the center of the ring, south side of heaven, and Damian Priest can officially move forward in his career and leave Finn Balor in the rearview mirror. Raw was just a really good show top to bottom.